Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Just trying to shake the rust off here. We are gonna, I think we're gonna do another challenge. Waka Waka unlocks Death's Touch. You know what, we did the host last time. That was an easy, not annoying one. This is an easy but annoying one, I think. Waka Waka, but let's not get out. We'll do 2 challenges in a row because I think unlocking the items is going to really benefit us in completing those post-it notes in the future. So Waka Waka, it's a Pac-Man reference. Basically, you treat this one like Pac-Man, walk in reverse, put the tears behind you. We've got Strange Attractor and Anti-Gravity, which is a fun little combo. You know what? I'll do it. Just to set the scene for you. So I've been recording lately. You know, I've got a lot on my plate, as mentioned. I don't like the harp on, like, oh, woe is me, but I'm not a full-time YouTuber. You know, anytime, like, once your channel gets to a certain size, people tend to maybe make assumptions or jump to the conclusion that this is my full-time gig. It is not even close by any means. I work full-time, Monday to Friday. It is now Friday night, so I've worked a full, actually abnormally stressful week of work because I had a very important certification I needed to obtain at work, which is possibly one of the hardest tests I've ever taken. And it was quite stressful, but managed to get through it. But so, you know, my brain is a little drained from that. I put in the requisite time with my daughter, not making it sound like a chore, obviously, but you know, I can't just come home and bang out videos, is what I'm saying. You know, Casey's been with Eden all day. I come home, I gotta take care of her, gotta put in some quality time with Casey. We watched, last night we watched Captain America, The First Avenger. Tonight we watched Captain America, Winter Soldier. I want to go through both Captain America's, the Avengers, and maybe the Guardians movies prior to, seeing ye old Endgame, as it were. But anyway, I'm trying to, you know, shake the cobwebs out of my brain. I'm tired, and I used to be able to work part-time. Oh, that's not good. Definitely shouldn't have come in the next room with Are You a Wizard active here. Let's see what this even turns out to be. I was working part-time previously, and so I could record on my days off, like during the day. No longer. Recording time is at a premium, you know, quality time with the family is at a premium, so like the weekend daytime is reserved for that. So essentially recording has to happen at night. Maybe occasionally I'll record on the weekends during the day, but most of the time I think it's gonna transpire at night. So I've got to sort of, you know, reprogram my brain, you know, the synapses and the associations and things like that. The conversation muscle sort of just goes to sleep after being at work all day and then coming home and resting on the couch, and then I gotta be like, hey brain, what do you got to talk about tonight? And brain's like, dude, I gotta talk about how it's gonna feel when your cheek just slides, you know, down into the pillow thanks to the sweet release of gravity helping you to collapse into glorious slumber. No, brain, wake up and ramble about something. Anyway, we watched Winter Soldier tonight. Winter Soldier is one of my favorite Marvel movies. I really love the characterization, and you know, a lot obviously has been said regarding the characterization of characters in Marvel movies. It's obviously done very well. The casting is done very well. I was telling Casey, I think it's admirable. They do a good job of, wow, you do not really like Strange Attractor, do you there, Pink Haunt? My God. Seizure warnings ahead. Please, get out of here. Get out of my ocular. Oh, okay. So, yeah. I'm down with this. We're gonna do this. Well, they managed to capture Captain America and portray him as a wholesome, honest individual, And they somehow managed to do it also without making him cheesy, which is, it's a very difficult task, and it's quite impressive. Do we dice shard? Like, these are decent, right? We can get a lot better stuff in here. I mean, that's not really what I was looking for, but... So, we did get 1 gup. We could have gotten 2 gup. If we had picked up the guppy item, no, because the collar was what re-rolled into the cat anyway, so we wouldn't have gotten 2 gup, I don't think. Unless, you know, it's seated in a weird way that I'm not thinking of or something like that, but we can come back here. I will do that. I'll do everything on the challenges. You know, when a run, if I only got to get to mom, you know, we'll throw caution to the wind. I ain't never scared. But yeah, Captain America, he's wholesome without cheesiness. It's... Oh, and I'm excited as well. Okay, we might just lose one of our 9 lives in here, but again, who cares? Please go back to normal speed, please. I would like it if you were a good old drowsy dingle, not an excited dingle, please. Oh, God. No, thank you. Okay. Kill him while you can. Kill him while you can! We got him. There's another boss coming. Oh, well, this is bad. Just... Sorry, you know, I know this is not exactly S-tier commentary coming out of my mouth hole right now, but it's requiring a level of focus that is not normally necessary on a room such as this. Okay, we're back. Anyway, I think it's because, with Captain America specifically, I think it's because they developed the character as such a slow burn. You know, you get to know the character over several movies. He's got 3 Captain America movies, plus he's featured heavily in the 2 Avengers movies. You know, that's the type of thing that allows you to really develop a character. It's what makes Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, it's what makes these characters so so well-rounded and so so well-developed. I think it didn't really work as much. I'm just gonna do this now. It didn't really work as much with Thor because the first 2 Thor movies are very bad, and I would argue also Ragnarok is very bad. Go ahead and at me on Twitter. I don't care. Ragnarok is not a very good movie. That's my opinion. Obviously, this is a subjective opinion. I think Ragnarok's humor was sort of forced and lame, and the film just was lacking in any gravitas. I was not a big fan. I know Ragnarok is a pretty universally loved movie, so I know I will be in the minority, but I didn't like it. But anyway, one thing I really liked about Winter Soldier is the really good use and the fitting use of dry humor for Captain America and the characters surrounding him. Dry humor gets a bad rep, you know? Some nice, like, dry, like, just kind of, like, almost like the movie equivalent of dad jokes. They're not quite dad jokes, but they're just, like, you know, ha ha ha, good-natured ribbing and stuff like that. It's very wholesome and enjoyable. Well, I don't like this, but... Get wrecked, please. Oh no, I'm excited. Why? I've been betrayed. Yep. Okay. Well, this is gonna be a tough one. Because are you gonna be excited every time? Because I am gonna hate that. Or are you not even excited? Is it just Strange Attractor that's doing this? It might be just, I think it's just Strange Attractor. No, 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 no. No, 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 you can't. I couldn't do anything. What was I supposed to do? I'll spend like 2 more lives and then we'll look for other options to like improve ourselves. Get him. No. One down. No, you gotta die. He's done it. And 2/3 Gup. Guppy's head is a huge pickup right here. I am going to go back on the rest of the floor just to see if we can actually get a little bit more HP before heading down. Dry humor, though. Humor is extremely subjective, though, right? Because, you know, pick your favorite comedy movie. I guarantee there's somebody out there that thinks it's stupid. Comedy is extremely polarizing. So much more so than other genres. You know, look at your what are your big, like, huge comedies over the past, like, what, 15 years or so? You got, like, comedians. You got, like, Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell. Who else would be, like, the big, like, maybe Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill up there in terms of, like, people who knocked it out of the park for some individuals comedically. Kevin Hart is another polarizing one. I happen to think Kevin Hart is not very funny. Some people would be like, you are out of your freaking mind. He is hilarious. Same thing with Will Ferrell. Same thing with for me, it's Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is like a golden standard of comedy for me. And some of it is defined by the era in which you grew up, but some of it is not. You know, those figures are even polarizing at the time. You know, I ran in some circles where we would quote Will Ferrell movies nonstop to each other, and we thought they were hilarious. But, you know, we'd run into people all the time that were like, I just don't get Will Ferrell. Like, I just don't get why you're a robot. I don't know. Like, it's so polarizing because when something is funny to you and actually, like, side-splittingly hilarious, it's so hard to step outside of that and see how someone could not find it funny. Because it's just something that is, like, it just feels, like, natural. It just, like, when something just genuinely makes you laugh, it just comes out of, like, the inner part of your being. But then some people look at that same thing and they go, it's not for me. You go, what, are you crazy? Are you friggin' nuts? Another movie I didn't really care for. Superbad. I don't think Superbad is very funny. I've met people. Also Napoleon Dynamite. Turns out I don't like a lot of comedy things that people like, but that's not that's not what I'm trying to get across here. But Superbad, when I saw Superbad and I was like, yeah, this is not what I am in for. Not what I get into, you know? But sometimes there's also, for me, for Superbad, there was like a, you know, a overhype factor. Happens all the time with movies where somebody does you the disservice. And I will say it is a disservice. This is why when I am talking to someone about a piece of media that I love, always undersell. Because overhyping is a real risk. It's something you need to be aware of. Don't tell someone it's hard because you got to earn trust to do this, but you don't want to tell someone something is the funniest thing or like the best thing they've ever seen. Because then, when it's just like really good, they're going to be disappointed. Instead, what you want to do is undersell and just be like, listen, I'm not going to tell you why, but just go see it and tell me what you think. You do something like that. But again, that's difficult to get to pull off, because in order to pull that off, you do have to, over time, you have to develop trust with the individual who you're recommending things to, and that takes time. There are a few people in my life whose movie or other media recommendations I trust, you know, immediately, and then there are others who I pretend to trust immediately, but really just dismiss because I know their taste is garbage. Let me know in the comments if you have someone in your life that is similar to that, because I'm sure everybody's got those people, right, where like they'll be like, first of all, some people will just recommend you things all the time, and I consume a lot of media, but I do so sort of like on my own terms. And if you're recommending me, you know, 2 to 3 pieces, like, media properties to consume or watch or spend my time on a week, eventually I just go, you know, I'm not gonna do that. I go, oh yeah, I haven't got around to it. And just hope you get the hint after a while that I'm dismissing all your recommendations because it's just too much, my dude. It's just 2 of spades. I'm just never gonna use it if I don't use it now. So sometimes people just recommend too much, but some people also just have bad taste or tastes that are just very different from yours. Because I have a hard time because I think I tend to be sort of an elitist when it comes to media. I think a lot of people do. Like, I think what I like is better than what you like. Full stop. But I recognize that that's not actually true. But at the same time, I think it's kind of true. In that, I think there are some things that are objectively bad. Even if you can have a subjectively good opinion of them. I think as long as you recognize that your opinion is subjective, especially if you're liking something that is like demonstrably bad. Let me give you an opinion, or let me give you an example to clarify. I once was playing poker in a casino, and the casino dealer, the subject of movies came up. And the casino dealer said that he thought the original Karate Kid, not the one with Jaden Smith, the original Karate Kid. So at least it wasn't the one with Jaden Smith, I suppose. But the original Karate Kid was the best movie ever made. Not a good movie. Not a fun and enjoyable movie. We're going to take the left hand because I'd like to become Guppy. But the best movie ever made. And that's where I gotta go, like, I think many times during the course of this conversation, I said, dude, come on. And we listed, you know, we listed all of the big movies. We listed The Godfather, Casablanca, you know, The Dark Knight, Shawshank Redemption. And he's like, no, The Karate Kid is better than those films. And this blows my mind, actually. The idea that I think for almost any movie out there, because of just like the law of large numbers, for someone in the world, that is their favorite movie. Like Transformers 2 is someone's favorite movie of all time. Spy Kids 3D, someone's favorite movie. You know, and those aren't even like horrible examples. There's got to be ones that are actually way worse that we just haven't heard of or don't come to mind. Because the ones that come to mind as a joke, quote unquote, usually still have like at least good, you know, production value, etc., etc. Although it was probably an exaggeration to say every movie is someone's favorite movie, because there's a lot of movies. There's not like more movies than there are people. But there are definitely some movies out there that are not anyone's favorite movie because they're just, like, unheard of, essentially. Never seen by more than, like, the cast and crew who worked on them. But who knows? Maybe it's one of their favorite movies. I don't know, but sometimes I think about that. I think, like, imagine how different my life would have been. Imagine how different my life would have had to have been for me to, like, for me to say that Jumanji was my favorite movie. I'm sorry, the new Jumanji movie is bad, people. The Rock and Kevin Hart are not meant for comedy things. They just aren't. And this is that subjective, objective thing, but they're objectively not funny. I don't get it. They're objectively not funny to me. How's that? There we go. Now we can go ahead and drop the left hand, because the left hand is bad. Lots of luck ups. That's nice. And we're go. And we only got really one floor after this, so we should be good to go. That's not really gonna do anything for us. We preferred that to be a full-size library, if anything, but it's okay. This is actually tailor-made. No sense in waiting for those zombies right there. But I don't know. Humor is it's crazy. You know, I was attending school when Napoleon Dynamite first came on the scene, and you would have thought it was the second coming of the Messiah Christ. Like, people were like... That was my first experience with, like, people being like, if you don't think this is funny, there's something wrong with you. And I, like, secretly didn't think it was very funny. Like, I don't really get this. This kid is, like... He's like a caricature of someone who has actual social problems. Maybe mental development problems as well. And I don't... It doesn't... I wasn't offended. I just felt awkward watching it, if that makes sense. I mean, lots of comedy is based on, you know, social awkwardness, social problems, but it just felt a little like too real. It's like how people can't watch the Scott's Tots episode of The Office. If you don't know what Scott's Tots is, it is the consensus most cringeworthy episode of The Office. It is, I will say, painful to watch. I can watch it because I lack a human heart inside my chest cavity, so I don't really have a problem watching it. But essentially what the basic plot of the episode, I'll go ahead and just spoil it because it's a many years old television show at this point, is Michael at one point many years prior promises, Michael's the boss of The Office, if you're not familiar with the series, he promises to buy or to pay a bunch of kids college tuition. And essentially, I think the big details slip my mind, but essentially he forgets about this promise and then has to try to figure out a way he can, like, pay for their tuition last minute, sandbags forever, doesn't really figure anything out, and then ends up giving them basically nothing. I won't completely spoil it in case you want to watch it, because I think it actually has some good comedic value. But it's definitely like, I mean, it's like, how funny would it be if you accidentally ruined a bunch of kids' lives? Like, and you gotta watch it happen. Like, that's what you're dealing with. So it's not for the faint of heart, I will say that. And this is gonna wrap up this run right here. But if you think I'm absolutely 100% wrong about any of these comedians that I've shamefully lambasted in this video, I'd love to hear it. Let me know. Let me know. Or if there's any I haven't listed and you think they're the funniest thing ever, give your recommendations. And if I trust you, I'll check them out. I'm getting hit all the time here because I'm just ranting at this point. But we're gup, and there's absolutely no chance we lose. Even if we had to do this on one heart, I think I could. Not a problem. A little growth hormones and a trophy. Well, that's going to do it for this video. Now we've got Death's Touch unlocked. I look forward to getting that on future runs. I hope you'll look forward to future videos. If you liked the video, leave a like or a comment. It always helps me out a great deal. And if you'd like to see more Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus content and other content when it comes out on the channel, please subscribe. I'm Accidental Grenade, and thank you so much for watching.